Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today. In this basket, I have my new project, my new idea, whatever, and I'm really excited about it. I hope that it's something that will interest other people. In this basket is Judy Blue, my new journal that I have created out of a gift bag. And this gift bag was gifted to me, and it was a little girl flying a kite, and it's sparkly. Well, one side of it was sparkly. I don't know if you can tell, but this side was sparkly. This side was not. And so I took some of the little pearls, you know, the sticklers is what it's called, sticklers. And I made my own glitter. And when I watched her kite, I thought, you know, it looks like the wind's blowing. Look at her hair and her dress. And I bet her string is everywhere. And so I looped on some extra thread and glued it down to show her kite string. And there she is. She's flying the kite anyway. She's fighting through the wind. And I showed it to my friend, and she said, it's a lot like life. You know, even though it's tough, you just keep going. You keep trying to fly that kite and make the best of it. And so, because of her gifting it to me and her idea about the book, I named it Judy Blue. It has 3 signatures. The handle is, this is the handle that actually came on the gift bag. I don't know. I did put eyelets in to reinforce that, but the handle is there. And the closure is, these things, I can't remember what they're called. Jewelry clamps or alligator, I don't know what they're called. I have 2 of them, and I have a little clasp. This is from some used jewelry. And I've left a long string so that you can, as you build the book, you can make it bigger. Right now I have it hooked into the very first one. It's just held together with the lobster claw, I think is what this is called, isn't it? That you would clasp together a necklace or any kind of jewelry, bracelet, whatever. And like I say, I've added extras so that as your book grows, you could expand where you joined it at. So the excitement for me for this was I built this book. There are 3 signatures. And I did embellish some of the page edges. And I did add some pockets to some of the pages. But for the most part, there are no embellishments in here. Like there's no ephemera at all. But that's what the rest of the basket is, and I will show you that in just a bit. Let me take you through Judy here and show you what I've done. So I noticed that this might be hard to see, but I've done some stenciling of it's kind of like that dried grass like you would see in a field. And I thought the way this looked here, that was probably, she was in a field with this dried grass. So I stenciled both sides, well, the entire book like that, the front and the back. And then I added some stickers, and they probably show up really shiny, but they're not. When you're looking at them like this, they're not shiny. And they're just little dandelions, little wispy flowers. Stamp the word windy here. And there's some on this side too. I have added the lace, and this thread is so pretty. Judy sent it to me as well. And it's a multicolored thread. It has golds and orange and green. It's beautiful. This is the thread. Isn't it pretty? I hope you can see all the colors in it that I used. So each signature starts with tea-dyed vellum, so it's nice and crunchy, crispy sound. And I'm going to show you the signatures pretty quickly because, like I say, there's not really anything to them. This was a book that she sent to me. Thought it was beautiful. It had watercolor in it. There's a pocket here. grab a little piece of paper and I'll be able to show you all the pockets. So there's a pocket here. This is scrapbook paper that's been tea-dyed and a little baggie sewn onto the side. And it is a pocket as well. I had to pick the only piece of paper that wouldn't fit into the pockets, didn't I? Let's get something thinner. Okay, so there's a, of course it's a pocket. Done lots of sewing. Really pretty trim here. This is baking paper. More tea-dyed paper, and I've stenciled it with different colors to match this paper. I kind of took what I was doing from this paper. Actually, I did some greens and oranges. Kind of tried to make it all cohesive. This is handmade paper, and I've sewn on an extra piece of tea-dyed paper that I stamped and watercolored in. And this can be a pocket right back here where I sewed it on. More scrapbook paper, some chiffon ruffle, just some really pretty. And this is embossed on the edge, and it was cut like this. It was stationery paper. I inked around it. I thought it was really pretty. This is wallpaper sewn on a piece of fabric from Judy. More scrapbook paper, and I've stenciled it to kind of resemble this page with the lines and the dots. More here. Added a few pockets on this side. 2 pockets. One is vellum and one is from wallpaper. Some tea-dyed line paper, and I've sewn on a extra piece of tea-dyed paper. Ledger paper. And this is a ruffle made from the baking paper that I also put some distress oxide inks on, and so it has a little bit of color, and then inked around the edges. This is eco dyed paper. I didn't do it. I thought it was beautiful. It was gifted to me, and I have never used it, and I really think it's beautiful. It has different colors in it, and I just thought it went perfect with this journal. Have some tea-dyed muslin. Here's the center of the first signature with the ribbon, extra long strings for beads. But my thinking of this book was I would include some eyelash trim. I would include the things to embellish it with, because I thought, even if you were an experienced journaler or had done this for a long time, myself, I would think it would be fun to have an open canvas and all of the things to work with that weren't mine. Something different, something new pieces to work with. Well, that was fun. I was just in the middle of talking and showing pockets and doing this and that, and realized, and it's doing it again. Okay, so that was fun. I was in the middle of doing and, wooing and doing and showing pockets and this and that, and realized my camera had fell plumb down on my hand. Sorry. So here are the pockets. Let's start where I think this might have left off. More wallpaper. The other side of the embellished stationery, or embossed, not embellished. Probably can't see it that well. Some more of the chiffon trim, handmade paper. More stenciling, the baking paper, sewn on some lace here. Have a pocket here. Actually, this opens up, but can be a pocket. Anyway, I was explaining my idea of this. I don't know how far I got when my camera fell down. That I think it would be fun, even if you were an old pro at this, to use other things from other areas of the world. It's like different people have different things, access to different things. And then if you were new to journaling, you would have, a wonderful place to start. And that is the end of the first signature. second signature also has the vellum. This one is yellow. This one's kind of a green, mint green. Some scrapbook ruffle. Sorry, I'm a little paranoid trying to figure out if this thing's falling. Some more. This is faux handmade paper that I made from napkins, and I painted it. There's thread and tea bags in here. It's got really good texture to it, and it is on tea-dyed paper, I believe. More scrapbook paper. I used distress oxides on this one, and I used stencils. I sprayed them, smushed it, and then on the other half, so I forget what that's called, where it's like a, I don't know, we'll get to it in a second. Done some stenciling. See the lines on that one. And this is RIT dyed paper that I stenciled on. Tea dyed scrapbook paper, and sewn on an extra piece that I did some more stenciling with the distress oxides and stamped it. This is probably the other half. Did more oxide ink stencil. Some chiffon ruffle. Not chiffon, sorry, silk ruffle. This is the other half. See, doesn't that look pretty? That's kind of distress oxide inks. This is a really soft chiffon ribbon that I've sewn on, and that tricolor thread. There's a belly band on this page. Little embellishment here that's on with a brad so it can be taken off or moved around. Tea-dyed dot paper. Scrapbook paper that I've done more stenciling with distress oxides. This is like a baking paper. It's supposed to look like a newspaper. And this piece of ruffle is from this paper. Tea-dyed paper. Little scrappy edge there that I've sewn on. And this is eco-dyed paper that is not nearly as pretty because I did this one. And it was, I think it's pretty, but I don't think it's near as pretty as the other people make. Another pocket. And this is the center. I thought this scrapbook paper was so pretty. It's kind of shiny. And then green ribbon on the center, again with the long string for beads. More eco paper and another scrappy strip. Tea-dyed. Another wax. Stenciling. This little embellishment I think is so pretty, and I'm pretty sure this one came from Judy too. That's handmade paper ruffle. More stenciling. Starry silk ribbon. Another little piece I've sewn on that I did the distressing stencil and a stamp. This is RIT dyed paper. It's kind of a greenish color. I did some stenciling on this side. More stenciling. Here's the other side of that faux paper. That's the end of that signature. The third signature starts with the yellow vellum as well. More of that beautiful art book. Some really pretty gold trim. Some pockets here. This is the handmade paper, and I found some really pretty ribbon that had this gold leaf on it. So I sewed it on here for a pocket. More scrapbook paper that's tea-dyed. Tea-dyed papers. Little edging. That's from the fused, napkin fused to the copy paper wrapping. Baking paper, ledger paper, scrapbook paper. This little tab is made from a cardboard box. I've taken it off and shown the corrugated part. Then I used distress inks on it to make it look kind of grungy and match the colors in this. Stenciled on this side. Use the colors that kind of go with this here. Made a couple little pockets. Some lace on the edge there. Wallpaper, a chiffon ruffle. More pockets. Another piece of that embossed stationery. Some stenciling. This is tea-dyed paper. No, this is that eco paper that someone else made. It really pretty. The middle of this signature, the ribbon is kind of a gold, shiny. More stenciling with the Distress Oxide inks. Pocket. More chiffon ruffle. And I did this one kind of crunchy. I just kind of scrunched it all up. It's not a perfect ruffle. I wanted it to look kind of crazy. Some edging on this is kind of, it's soft. It's like, I don't know, reminds me of a flapper dress. Got different colors in it. A couple more little pockets. More stenciling. Another one of the cardboard tabs. Ledger paper. Baking paper. Little cluster here that has that tulle. And some of the paper, faux handmade paper, textured paper. Tea-dyed paper with an extra sewn on. Another pocket here where the bag is. Ooh, there's actually a piece of paper in it. And I think this paper is from, it is from the eco-dyed paper. Handmade paper. A pocket from that pretty book. And some gold trim. And that is the end of 3 signatures. So that is Judy Blue. Now, for the goodies that go inside, I have pieces that I've handmade. Like, this is a used coffee filter collaged to a playing card. I've embellished a little bag that can be glued on or as floating ephemera. These tickets I made from a paper bag. I have a tutorial on those. This is a magazine page sewn to fabric, backed with some writing paper. Same with this one. And I've made some embellishments like this one. It has 6 writing spots. So some of the embellishments I made, these are like, can be used as little pockets to glue on the page. Little tag. Another little pocket. Some tea-dyed paper that I've made kind of like a little file folder out of. This is made from an envelope. I was thinking it could be like on the edge of a page. And there's pockets on both sides and writing spot in the middle. Pocket here, pocket here. Did some stamping and some coloring with the Tim Holtz crayons is what that is. And then there are some pieces that are like these little clusters, and I made them from packing and stamps and edging, book page, some lace, and these are just meant to embellish or maybe make a pocket out of. I have a tutorial on this as well. It's an envelope. Inside is the other piece of the envelope with a pocket, a writing spot. See, I said I didn't fill any pockets, but I did. And then this can be folded over a page or put that in upside down. And then this could be decorated or stamped. Little tag. More of the coffee, used coffee filter. That's on a flash card. These are some little noisy writing spots. Back to tea-dyed. Then there's some ephemera that I, didn't make. It's just extra pieces. There's some that I made that are not complete, like the book page tags that you can stamp or, embellish however you like. Of course, I've got the note from the bookmaker. But like these pieces, this book belongs to, you can slide it right in there. The seam binding, crinkled seam binding on the top, you could take it off and embellish pages with it. You could embellish this pocket. Here's another piece of that eco-dyed paper. Use it for writing or embellishing. So those are the kinds of things that will be in here. I've inked some scraps and sewn on them to make pockets or embellishments. I've got some tea-dyed paint samples and I put washi tape on them. This one's kind of neat. It has different things that you could actually probably cut out and use for embellishments. Tried to make sure the washies match the book. So this one is really wide. You could, of course, cut it in two or fussy cut some of the things out. This has 2 pieces on it. Some grungies. Got a dyed guest check and flashcard, tea-dyed book page. On this card, I have 3 clusters. They're all on here with brads. I have some charms. This one is a spray-painted paper clip with a pretty charm on it. Another little charm with some muslin. This is to hang your tassel from on the side of your book. I didn't put it on. It does like this, and you hang your tassel from this little hoop. And it just goes on like a brad does. Just run a hole through if you want to use it. I didn't know if this sticking out would be hard to write. I didn't, everybody's different, so I didn't put it on there. I just made it, just clipped it on so that if that's something you'd like to use. And oddly enough, I can't get rid of anything. So this is the plate, the template I use to mark my signatures before I punch the holes. Then I have some tea-dyed muslin. I've clipped on a couple of bulbs that have charms on them, bulb pins, and then there's some just extra trims in here to decorate with. The little bit of eyelash trim, a little bit of book page. I thought this was so pretty. This is the edge of the book. I'm sorry, the bag. This is the other side of the bag that I didn't use. But I was thinking, wouldn't that make like a great belly, over-the-page belly band? Like you could glue on these 2 sides so you would have a pocket here. Glue these 2 sides and there'd be a piece underneath. And then just, it would go over your page like this. And then you would have a belly band. I thought that was kind of cool. So I included that as well. And then I just think these are pretty. These are at the bottom of scrapbook paper, but I don't know why. I think they're kind of vintage and pretty. Thought maybe you want to use the words. This is some jelly printing that I done to make ephemera pieces out of, or pockets. Thought they would make cool pockets. This is the other piece of the offcut from their really pretty signature, the middle of that signature with the sparkly on it. So there's a lot of that too, the offcuts from the pages that I used. You can make pockets out of. There's enough of them you could make a little journal of a different journal. I have some mamagami paper, and I put a little bit of that age tape on it. That would make great pockets. More book page. This book page, it looks like it's from a little dictionary. Looks like it's kind of old, but it's kind of sturdy. It would make good pockets. These 2 stickers, this little, can't think of what these are called. Like little films. I can't remember the name of the things that use slides. It's a slide, a vintage slide. These stickers, the vintage slide, the book page, and these stamps came with some glue that I ordered. So I thought, you know, don't hoard your stuff. I'm tired of hoarding my stuff. So I put those in there. I thought they would be so fun to use. Little pieces like this. Lots of offcuts. More little eyelash trim. But all of these are offcuts from the book. A little bit more of mamagami paper. So there's all kinds of things in here to use to create your new book. And they'll be in this. This is Vintage Dictionary. Unfortunately, I sewed over the letters, but I'm so sad about that because it was so pretty. So I put stickers on both sides, stamped this side, just another sticker, and I put a little, I had printed some numbers on tea-dyed paper, used some of that age tape, and then I put contact paper over the whole thing, sewed it, and I will fill this up full of all of these goodies to embellish the book with. And I really hope this is something that will be fun. That's my intent to create. I know that, you know, junk journals are for writing, and I've left lots of writing space. Maybe you don't want to embellish it. Maybe you want to create a different journal with all of this. Or maybe you just want to throw it away. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you don't throw it away. There might be some pieces you want to throw away. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So this is how it will come. This will be neater, of course. I have it all packaged in the dictionary page for you to embellish Judy Blue. I will have this up in my Etsy shop very soon. I hope you like it. I hope this is something that you think would be fun. I don't know. I'm just trying to create new ways to do that, and I'm hoping that this is something that you like. I hope you found some inspiration somewhere in these pieces. If you like this kind of video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Leave me a comment. Would this be a kind of kit that you would like, or do you prefer it to be completely embellished? I appreciate your comments and your feedback. Thank you for everything, and I will see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.